How do you intend to raise the consciousness of the entire planet? Do we have enough time? Do we have a chance?
I can only answer for me. I cannot use the word we. That word is used by political leaders, religious priests, I am neither of them. I do not represent anybody in the world except myself. The politician represents a certain crowd, hence his use of the word we has some meaning. He is no more than the total sum of the crowd. Withdraw the crowd and the politician disappears into vacuum, into nothingness. The same is true about a pope, a Sankaracharya, or any other religious leader. The Pope is simply the sum total of all the Catholics of the world. But remember, he is not a man, but only a sum total. A number in arithmetic, but not an individual. The individual can never use the word we. He can only use the word I, and that too with a very specific condition. His I is not equivalent to the ego. His I is not to be written in capital letters. His I should be written in the lower case letters. It is not something extraordinary. He is simple, an ordinary human being. I am using the word I in the same way. We is impossible for me because I don't belong to any crowd, any mob. My commune is not a crowd. It is a communion of individuals. Yes, one can misunderstand it as a crowd. From far away, you see a forest, but as you come close, there are only trees, no forest. Exactly is the case with my commune. Those who never come close to it will think of it as a cult, a creed, a certain society. But those who will come close will find only trees, no forest. Each individual so absolutely unique, alone. The question of we does not arise at all. So when I am saying I cannot use we, I am also trying to help you understand that you cannot use we either. You will have to be very alert. And the I that you have to use has not to be the I of the egoist. The egoist uses I in a sense that he is superior than you, that you are nothing compared to him. His I is big. And his whole effort in his whole life is only one: how to make the I more and more bigger, higher and higher, so that it becomes an Everest. No other peak can ever come even close to it. This is the way Muhammad Ali uses I. Muhammad Ali, the greatest. This is the way Alexander used his I. Alexander the Great. Just Alexander won't do. The great is needed to make him stand separate from thousands of other Alexanders. I am suggesting to you to use I just in a utilitarian way. not to impose yourself on others, not to propagate yourself as bigger than others, but as an absolutely human necessity. You have to use some word. There have been people who have tried not to use the word I for the simple reason because it may be misunderstood in the same way as everybody uses the I. Or perhaps they were deep down afraid themselves that if they use the word I, the ego will come following it. It will be standing just behind it. Perhaps that is the case. I recall one person, one very important Hindu sages of this century, Swami Ramatirtha. He has been to America. He influenced wherever he went. He was a man of charismatic personality. He never used the word I. But that makes no difference at all. Something else he had to use. He was feeling thirsty. Instead of saying that I am thirsty, he will say Ramatirtha is thirsty. Ramatirtha wants to go to sleep. New people who had no idea what he is talking about could not understand it. They looked here and there and they asked, where is Ramatirtha who is thirsty? And then he will have to point to himself that this is Ramatirtha who is feeling thirsty. But this seems to be such a stupid procedure. Rather than catching your ear directly, you go around the head and make such weird gesture. And finally you catch the ear, nothing special. I am a lazy man, I cannot do that. If I have to catch the ear, I will catch directly, rather than moving my hand around the head and then catching the ear. This looks ludicrous. But he made great impression by this. People are foolish. If you try to see what things people get impressed with, you will be surprised. That will show you that what kind of humanity exists on the earth. They were very much impressed by Ramatirtha, that here is a man who is egoless. He was not egoless. There is enough proof in his life that he was not egoless. When for the first time in India I said that there was great anger amongst Hindus because they have always believed that Ramatirtha was one of the greatest souls born in this century. And he was respected around the world. And nobody has said anything against him. But the problem was Ramakrishna League. It is an international organization. Its headquarters is in Lucknow, India. Invited me to speak on Ramatirtha. Now, it was not my fault. I even inquired them that, are you sure you want me to speak on Ramatirtha? And they were not aware because nobody has spoken against him. He was a nice man. But to be nice is not enough. I went to speak in their annual conference, world conference. And when I said that to me Ramatirtha befooled himself and nobody else, and I gave the instances from his own biography published by the League, authoritative, approved by Ramatirtha himself. And I said, I will simply be quoting. There is no need even to interpret. If you are just a little bit intelligent, you will see the point. Ramatirtha toured all over the world. Then he came back to India. Naturally, deep down, he must be expecting, because everywhere he was received with great honor as a sage from the Himalayas. First he went to Varanasi, the center of Hinduism for thousands of years. He was shocked. The biography says he was shocked because there was no overwhelming reception. The same way, just few days before, Pope was shocked in a Catholic country because there was no overwhelming reception. But unless you are expecting, I don't see the possibility of being shocked. He must have been expecting an overwhelming reception, a welcome. The welcome that is given to a man who has conquered the whole world comes back to the citadel of Hinduism, and he has been talking about Hinduism around the world, praising Hinduism around the world, making Hinduism as the highest religion in the world. Naturally, it is human. He must have been expecting. But out of 8 Shankaracharyas, the heads of Hinduism, not a single one was present to receive him. Forget about Shankaracharyas, because they are the heads. Ramatirtha is still a monk, not head of Hinduism, but there were no other monks either to receive him. Few people have come which looked more curious than receptive, than welcoming, and on the contrary of having a red carpet welcome, a letter was handed to him from the highest Hindu committee of Pandits, scholars. The letter said that before you speak anywhere else, first you have to face the committee, the supreme committee of the scholars of Hinduism. Because the way you have been talking about Hinduism is not orthodox. It is not traditional. More shocking, he is almost court-martialed. Before the scholars, he has to answer why he said this, why he said that. This he had never thought is going to be, but this is how it happened. He had to appear before the scholars, and there is the point that I wanted to make to the conference in Lucknow. As he was just going to speak, one old Hindu scholar stood up and he said, "First tell me, do you know Sanskrit?" Unfortunately, Ramatirtha did not know Sanskrit at all. For the simple reason he was born near Lahore, which is now in Pakistan. In that part, Even Hindi was not spoken. Urdu, the Mohammedan language, was the spoken language. And those who wanted to become great scholars, of course, had to read Persian, Arabic. They have to go to the roots of Urdu, that is Persian, Arabic. Sanskrit has nothing to do with Urdu. Mohammedans or Hindus, it was not the question. The area he was born was Urdu dominated. In schools, in colleges, in universities, Persian, Arabic were the exalted languages. So he was a scholar of Persian, Arabic, Urdu. But he had never thought that religion has anything to do with language. You can be a Hindu without knowing Sanskrit. You can be a great Hindu sage without knowing Sanskrit. Sanskrit is not something absolutely necessary. And that was one of the questions those scholars were asking him, that while speaking around the world, you were not quoting Upanishads, Vedas, Sankaracharya's. You were quoting Sufi mystics, Jalaluddin Rumi, Farid, Sarmad. You can be full in the West because people don't know what you are quoting. These are not Hindus, these are not our people. The truth is, Ramakrishna had quoted exactly rightly. It does not matter whom he is quoting. What matters is the meaning. He had no knowledge of Sanskrit, but he understood. He had read Upanishads in Urdu. He has read Vedas in Urdu. And naturally he had the understanding of the essential message. And that message was so clearly expressed by Sufi mystics, Rumi, Al-Hillaz Mansur, Zunnad, Rabia Al-Adawiyah. They have expressed the same thing. Of course, their language was different. But here he found that he is being treated as a criminal. Another scholar stood up and he said, before you speak in front of us, first go and learn Sanskrit. And he was completely shattered. Now, only an ego can be shattered. If I was in his place, in the first place, I would not have expected any overwhelming reception. If they were not throwing stones at me, that was enough. A great reception. If they allowed me to enter in Varanasi, that was more than one can hope. And then I would not have gone to their scholars to be examined, interrogated. I should have torn that letter then and there and threw it on the platform and said to them that tell all of them to go to hell. What business I have got to do with your scholars? If they want to do anything, they have to come to me. And I have not come here to be certified that I am really a Hindu sage. I myself say that I am not a Hindu, neither I am a sage. So what is the problem? How can you shatter me? I don't have any claim. Can't you even accept me as a human being? If even that is difficult for you, then that is your problem. Don't accept. But that is not going to shatter me either. You are shattered only when you are living in a glass house. Then anybody can throw a stone. And that's enough. But I am not living in a glass house. The ego is a glass house. It is continuously afraid of being shattered. Somebody does not say hello to you on the road, and that's enough. He has not done anything. He has not even said hello. But this man used to say hello every day. It pinches, it hurts. What happened? I have fallen in his eyes or what? He may disturb your sleep because he has not said hello to you. Expectations always lead to frustrations. Expectations are the seeds, and frustration is the crop. Sooner or later you will have to reap. It is your own doing. So I ask the followers Ramatirtha, what was shattered If there was no ego, there was nothing to be shattered. You throw a stone into empty space. Nothing will be shattered. Only the stone will look silly, falling with a thud. No obstruction, no joy of destroying something, no excitement and of shattering something, just falling with a thud on the ground like a fool. A man who has no ego is an empty house. You can throw stones from this side to that side. They will go across him without finding any obstruction. Nothing can be shattered. So I said, note this point, but this is not the whole story. Ramtirtha left Varanasi, went to the Himalayas. He had a follower and a friend who was a king of Garhwal in Himalayas, a small state. He went there and he asked his friend, the king of Garhwal, that I would like to learn Sanskrit. So please arrange for a scholar to teach me Sanskrit. Now, is this the way of a sage who could not say to these fools in Varanasi that enlightenment does not come through a language? It comes when all languages are left behind. It comes when even thinking exists no more. There is no Arabic, no Hebrew, no Greek, no Sanskrit, no Latin. Only then that light shines within yourself. Yes, when you start communicating, of course you will have to use some language. And you will use the language that you know best. In his place, I would have said that I will continue to use Urdu, Persian, Arabic, because those are the languages I know best. And I am not going to follow your dictation that I should start learning Sanskrit. For what? To get your recognition? To be certified by you that I am really a saint? Does sainthood need anybody's recognition? Who had recognized Gautam Buddha that he is enlightened? Who had recognized anybody in the whole world, in the whole history, In fact, it is impossible. The enlightened people cannot recognize or certify an enlightened one. He has to declare himself. There is no other way. Whether you believe it or not, that does not matter. And that does not settle him. Nobody may believe, not even a single human being. Do you think that makes any difference into the status of a man of enlightenment? He remains still the same. His enlightenment not even a little bit less, because you have not recognized him. For what he agreed to learn Sanskrit. And the story is really strange. He started learning Sanskrit. Not only that, he dropped his orange robe and started using white clothes. Asked why, he said, because if Hindu scholars do not recognize me, then I am not yet capable of using the traditional robe of a Hindu sannyasi. When I decided to give to my sannyasis the same robe, it was for the same reason, to destroy this whole idea that anybody has monopoly. In India there is an organization of Hindu monks. It has been founded by one of the politicians who has been twice Prime Minister of India. For a few days only. Whenever one Prime Minister dies, he is put as acting Prime Minister. Before the second one comes, few days, few weeks, he remains the Prime Minister. He has no support, but he is a reliable person, that he will not create any trouble, and he is not even courageous enough to create any trouble. He is a weakling. Sometimes your weakness proves of great help. When Jawaharlal died, Morarji was hoping to become immediately the acting Prime Minister, but he was not chosen because he is, although very mediocre, but very stubborn. That once if he becomes acting Prime Minister, then it will be difficult to take him back, to tell him to get down. He will not get down so easily once he gets up. So some weakling has to be chosen for the interim period. So you put him like a puppet, and when you want him down, he comes down. The same man twice. When Jawaharlal died, he became the Prime Minister. When Lal Bahadur Shastri died, he became the Prime Minister. Both the times Morarji was hoping, and both the times he was denied, because everybody was afraid once he gets up, he will not be. But this man, is cowardly, weak, hence naturally he could not manage to be a great political force. He turned towards religion. Many weaklings turn towards religion. Many cowardly people turn towards religion, because here you don't need much guts. He founded an organization of Hindu monks. When I started initiating people into sannyas, he asked me that you are creating trouble. He was the president of the organization. I said, what trouble? He said, you are giving them the same robe. Now it is going to be a very confusing thing. Who is who? I said, that's what I want to do. And I am going to fill your whole organization with my sannyasis. You cannot prevent. And soon you will see my sannyasis will be the president in your organization, secretaries. They became so much freaked. I was just joking. I was not interested. Who bothers about these idiots and their organizations? They became so freaked out, they immediately made a resolution that anybody wearing my mala should not be allowed in the organization as a member. He is not really a Hindu sannyasi. I said, that's true, he is not. Neither he is a Hindu sannyasin, nor a Mohammedan sannyasin, nor a Christian sannyasin. He is just himself. The orange robe I have chosen is just to destroy this monopolistic idea. But Ram Tirtha was so much subdued by those mere intellectuals that he dropped his orange robe. These are all ways of the ego. Now he will learn Sanskrit, he will prove himself that he is a scholar in Sanskrit too, and with grace and honor he would receive the robe from them. These are the ways of the ego. Who are they? On what authority? Just because they are crammed with rotten knowledge. So I said to his followers that to me, his saying that Ramatirtha is hungry, rather than saying I am hungry, does not change his ego. It simply makes it more complicated. And the greatest problem is he may be deceived by it. If others are deceived, that is not much of a trouble. He himself may be deceived, he may himself start thinking that he has dropped the ego. Now he never uses the word I. So the question is not of using the word. The question is of understanding how you are using it. Use it as an utility. Don't make it a psychological trip. Now, you are asking me how we are going to raise the consciousness of the world. Why? We should raise the consciousness of the world. Are you nuts or something? Can't you let the world alone? You just raise your consciousness. No, but this is how the world is. Nobody is interested in raising his own consciousness. Everybody is interested in raising the world's consciousness. That seems to be easier, more fun. To raise one's own consciousness is arduous. To raise the consciousness of the world is just fun. No problem to you. Whether it is raised or not, you are not at a loss. Yes, by trying to raise it, suddenly you become a great sage, you become a great religious leader, you become world famous. You are raising the consciousness of the world. As if consciousness is just lying down there as sleep, and you have to wake it up. Just pour cold water over it, and the consciousness raises up and says, "What is the matter? Who is troubling me?" It is not so easy. Consciousness is not there in any collective sense. There is no world consciousness. There are only trees, no forest. Forest is only a word, convenient, useful, but non-existential. If you go in search of a forest, you will never find it. Standing in the middle of it, still you will not find it. What you will find always an individual tree. And of course an individual tree is not the forest. This consciousness of the world, consciousness of humanity, is just a word. Don't fall into linguistic games. Remember one thing, consciousness is always individual. There is no way for consciousness to become collective. It is always I, it is never we. And why? This concern, and this is not only your concern, millions of people around the world are concerned in raising the consciousness of the world. And not only now, as far back you can find any records, they have been concerned with raising human consciousness, humanity, making the world divine, sacred, and the same problems in Mesopotamia, where one of the oldest civilizations existed once and is no more in existence, but ruins are there. A pillar has been found $6,000 old at least. That is the minimum. It cannot be more recent than that. It can be 12,000 years old, but 6,000 is the bottom line. With all the scientific observations, they have concluded that it is at least 6,000 years old, more perhaps. What it says, the pillar says, man has fallen to such a rotten state that we have to teach humanity again to become human. Sons are no more listening to their fathers. There is a generation gap. Wives are no more faithful to their husbands. Husbands are doing all kinds of things which make them disrespected. Fathers are not fulfilling their duties. The whole pillar seems to be as if it is in some newspapers just 2 days editorial. In India, Rig Veda is the oldest book. According to the Hindu scholar, a great scholar, Lokman Tilak, it is 90,000 years old. And he has immense proof and evidence. And yet he has not been challenged. It is almost 60 years or more that he proved that it is 90,000 years old. In these 60 years, nobody has been able to disprove his evidences. It is almost now either forgotten or accepted. Whatsoever the case, Rig Veda is certainly the most ancient book in existence. But the same problems that you face today, the same question, is it possible to change man's nature? Is there time enough? "90,000 years before, they were worried, is there time enough? And the time has not proved enough. That's certainly true. Because the problems are still the same, perhaps worse. You are asking me the same questions, but I'm a different kind of man, a little bit eccentric. Otherwise, if you had asked the question to any Mahatma, any great religious personality, he would have answered, yes, we can raise humanity's consciousness. Of course, time is very short, but my methods are very quick too. That's what Maharishi Mahesh Yogi goes on telling to people. Time is short. By all the prophecies, all the astrologers, as this century closes, every possibility that the earth is finished. Time is really short. It is 1985, only 15 years more. 90,000 years have not proved enough. 15 years. But Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, goes on around the earth with jet speed. Of course, he has to use the jet speed. Time is short. But he says his method is quick. Just 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening. You do transcendental meditation. And what is transcendental meditation? You repeat one word that is given to you. Of course, you have to pay fee for it. $250, and what he gives, he asks you, are you a Christian? Say yes. Catholic, Protestant? Just to figure out who you are, so that he can give you a name suitable to your religion. If you say, I am a Catholic, he will say, that's very good. You start the mantra, Ave Maria. Repeat continuously, Ave Maria, Ave Maria, Ave Maria. Anywhere, in any posture. Just for 10 minutes. Between two Ave Marias, don't leave any gap. Go as fast as you can. Almost one Ave Maria entering into another Ave Maria. Just like when sometimes there is an accident of a railway train and compartments go over other compartments, and inside other compartments all the buffers are broken and the train is for the first time in a real unity. This is a very traditional method in India. It is nothing new. And it is used by everybody in every village. You can get very cheap. If you are very rich, then the price is 11 rupees, which is less than $1. If you are poor, it can be reduced. For the very poor, a coconut. And in India, there are two types of coconuts. Coconuts which people eat and coconuts which people use religiously. They offer it to gods, to temples, to gurus. Those coconuts for centuries have the same price. Their price does not change. In 1 rupee you can get 3. Because they are the same coconuts. For centuries. In my village, just in front of me there was a temple of Krishna, and by the side of the temple a coconut shop. A coconut shop is always very close. If you find a temple, you can believe without any trouble that within 5-minute radius there must be a coconut shop. Mostly it is just by the side of the temple. You go on offering to the god, and the same coconuts go on getting back to the side shop. So the price remains same because they are all rotten. Nobody. The coconut shell is so hard that what is inside, nobody knows. These are religious coconuts. Nobody will purchase from a religious coconut shop for eating or for anything, because inside you will find nothing. Their function is just to move from the shop to the temple, from the back door come again to the shop, morning they are again for sale, and this round goes on and on. And coconut is a strange fruit. You can work with it for centuries. Its consciousness remains the same. No change. So in India, it is so cheap. Maharishi Mahesh Yogi may not have been able to raise the consciousness of the people, but he has raised the price of transcendental meditation immensely. From one coconut to $250. I don't know how much it will be, because in 1 rupee 3 coconut, religious coconuts. Don't forget that. In 1 rupee 3 religious coconuts. In $1 you can have at least 60 coconuts religious. In $250, now you can work it out. And he is not only trying to raise the consciousness of people, because he has been doing that for almost 30 years. And now people are fed up because nothing is raised. Simply their pocket becomes lighter and nothing is raised. They are getting fed up. And how long you can cheat people? So now he has, and these people have to go on inventing something new. His new thing is even more idiotic. Now he is trying to levitate people. First he was trying to levitate their consciousness. Now he is trying to levitate people. The fees has also gone higher. Of course, because he is raising your body too. Now he says he has found the secret. Join with transcendental meditation. Your body will rise and float in the air. Your head will touch the roof. And there are fools in the world who are ready to pay for this kind of nonsense. And he has been asked again and again that give a public demonstration, at least one person, For that he is not willing, because it is such a secret thing that you cannot do it in public. It can be done only in private. But strangely, if it is done only in privacy, how the photographs are appearing in his magazines? At least the photographer must be there. It is public. The person is not isolated. The whole thing is, it is simple photographic trick. It is not much of a thing. Any person who understands a little photography can manage it. Just he has to mix two negatives. In one negative you are sitting on the floor, and in the other negative it has to be managed that you are touching the roof. You can be put on a tall stool with the same mattress on which you were sitting on the floor, in the same room. And there is no problem, just you have to manage these two photographs together to show that this man's body has levitated. Time is short. And people are trying to levitate bodies. For what purpose? Even if, for argument's sake, accept that people learn to levitate their bodies and their heads start touching their roofs, how it is going to make humanity better? If just touching the roof by the head is the thing, then simpler methods can be used. Just make a tall stool, ask Ashish. He can make you a beautiful tall stool so your head touches. The stool can be adjustable. So if you are short-sighted or long, that way the stool can be adjusted. You can adjust it yourself and touch your head to the roof. If that makes you a Superman, then why bother about meditation and such long procedures? Time is very short. But I am not interested either in raising people's consciousness or in raising their bodies. In fact, for decades I have not been interested to do anything for the world, for the humanity, because to me these are bogus words. I am interested only in few chosen people. The whole mass of humanity whether it lives or disappears makes no difference. I may look hard to you, but I am simply being factual. Just look at the past. Millions of people have lived and died. What does it matter? Where it leads. Millions of people are living today. In what way they are enriching life? Just breathing, just vegetating, is that enough? Today I had received a news in Miami. A man's situation has become really terrible. He had a brain cancer. To remove that cancer, they had to use for the first time some poison without which it was not removable. That poison entered into his brain by mistake. The cancer was removed, but the poison entered into his brain and killed his brain. Now the man is alive, the brain is dead. He can live for years, there is no problem. Just you have to take care of him. His brain is completely dead. So everything that his brain was doing, you will have to do. And it was your mistake. But the doctor can also be not condemned. For the first time, that poison has been used. So there is no way to say that he used it wrongly, because there is no precedent. He tried his best. Yes, the unlucky man. Now, in this man, as I was reading the news, and in the millions of masses, is there any difference? That was the question that came to me. Their brains are not dead, but their souls are dead, which is far worse. And nobody else is responsible, they themselves are responsible. They are living, but do you call it life? What is the point of their living? What they have found out of it? What they have experienced? Where they have arrived? If they were not born, would you have missed them? If they were not here, will existence be poorer because of that? All these considerations have to be looked into before you start raising the consciousness of the world. The greater masses of the world are not interested in consciousness. They are more interested in unconsciousness. You will be surprised, because you may not have heard them that they are interested in unconsciousness, but you can see them drinking alcohol. All kinds of narcotics are being used. All kinds of drugs are being used. And there are other kinds of unconsciousnesses which are not produced by chemical drugs. For example, in a movie, for 3 hours, what you are searching? You are searching for 3-hour unconsciousness. For 3 hours, you become so involved in any idiotic story. And they are almost the same. For centuries, just 2 men, 1 woman, 2 women, 1 man. There are only 2 stories. I tried to find a 3rd story. I have not succeeded. If anybody of you succeeds, please inform me. Help me. Because I have found only 2 stories. And there is not much difference in those 2 stories. 2 women, 1 man, or 2 men, 1 woman. It is really 1 story. Only 3 persons are needed. Put them in all kinds of situations, create all different details, but the story remains the same. But it is helpful. You get involved into it. Millions of people seeing sports, millions of people participating in political rallies, slogans, shouting, screaming. I used to know 1 man in Jabalpur. I liked that man. I was really impressed by him. Something unique. Because for 1 year I was living in a bungalow which was just facing 6 roads. So all kinds of processions were passing through there, and it was near the High Court, the Collectorate, the Commissioner's office. They were all just within half a mile circle. So every kind of procession, protest, either going to the Chief Justice or going to the Commissioner or going to the Collector, I used to enjoy seeing them. The most exciting thing for me was one man who was always in every protest, whether it was a communist party, socialist party, Congress party, Praja party, any party. In India there are all kinds of parties. Whether it was a religious protest, that Christians were protesting against something that is being done against their religion, Mohammedans, Hindus, Jainas, Buddhists, he was always, inevitably there. I could not believe that that man is something. One day I caught hold of him and I said, you have to come inside with me. He said, right now I cannot come, I am going in the protest. I said, you can go later on, I will send you, I will leave you, drive you, but just 5 minutes you come in, because now it is too much. I cannot bear it anymore. He said, but what is the problem? What I have done to you? You have not done anything to me. I just want to know to which party you belong. He laughed. He said, as far as parties are concerned, I am a member of all the parties. I said, but he said, you will not understand. Nobody understands. I enjoy shouting, screaming. Now, who is screaming against whom? That is not material. I simply enjoy, shout, jump, have a flag. I don't care whose flag. I don't have any flag of my own. And I am not interested what they are demanding, whether they get it or not. But I enjoy it. Now this man has no political interest, no religious interest. What interest is his? He is finding unconsciousness in shouting, screaming, getting involved into something which he has no ideological interest, but he has a psychological involvement. He forgets himself. For 2-3 hours the protest continues. He forgets himself. Now, how he can miss if some other party is protesting? His psychological interest is the same. He said it is not much costly. In India, you can become member by 1/4 rupee, 1 year membership. And that too you don't have to pay. Somebody will pay for you, you have just to vote for him. So I asked him that so many parties, so many religions, and you must be paying so much money. He said, no, they pay it. And those idiots don't even ask that are you member of any other party? I have not yet been asked, so I have not yet been forced to lie. Nobody asks me. I say, I want to become a member of your party. They say, very good. You just become member of the party, fill the form. I have filled all the forms of all the parties. I go to all religious prayers, religious meetings. I believe in the unity of all. I said, that's very good. But he was really in getting juice. You try protesting, shouting, and soon you get involved into it. Your thinking disappears. Your past, present disappears. You are suddenly here now, but not in a conscious way, through an unconscious trick. You can do it by alcohol, you can do it by politics, you can do it by religion, you can do it in a church, you can do it in a movie house, you can do it in 1,001 ways, and people are using all kinds of ways. They are not interested in consciousness. Consciousness is painful because you will have to drop so much which you have carried your whole life thinking very valuable. You will have to uncover your wounds which you have covered and completely forgotten. You will have to revive all worries and anguishes that somehow you have repressed. You will have to face again your original face, which you have lost far back, and become somebody else. And you have been somebody else for so long that now to face your original face is going to settle you completely. To be conscious is not a game. To be conscious is to go through a deep surgery. And the problem is you are the surgeon and you are the patient. Just think of some surgeon doing surgery on himself. I had one surgeon friend. And it was not much of a problem. A certain disease, very strange disease, started happening to me every year. First, one of my fingers started being painful on the first joint. Immense pain. Sleep was not possible. No sleeping medicine will help. The pain was so shooting sharp. It continued for 21 days. I asked my surgeon friend, He said, this is a troublesome thing, but for 1 year there is no problem. Next year the second finger will be affected, and 21 days is the utmost. But 10 years you will have to suffer. Each year one finger will be affected. I said, I don't want that kind of business for 10 years. Who knows, if I die tomorrow, then my 9 fingers, no. I cannot leave them just like that. You have to do something. He said, there is no medicine for it, only surgery can be done. I will have to cut on the joint your bone, which has grown a little, and that's how this whole thing is happening. So I said, there is no problem, you can cut it, but I can't wait for 10 years. He prepared everything, but I was so close to him that at the final time he had a nervous breakdown. He said, I cannot do it. On you I cannot do it. I cannot cut your finger. I will call another surgeon. I had kept him ready in case, because I knew it from the very beginning. Last night I could not sleep. Just the idea of cutting your finger. I said, what nonsense. My finger or anybody's finger, you should be able to cut your own finger too if their time comes. And there is no surgeon available. You should be able to cut your own finger. He said, I can cut my own finger, but I cannot cut your finger, because then I will repent my whole life that I did that nasty thing to you. No, I will not do. He simply freaked out. The other surgeon did it. That day I understood how difficult it must be to be the patient on the table and the surgeon by the side, the same person, cutting his own deepest layers of being. Consciousness is self-surgery. And don't ask me that how can we raise. Nobody can do. For somebody else. You can only do it for yourself. This is the fundamental of spiritual surgery, that you can be only successful on yourself. Howsoever painful it is, but there is no other way. Yes, it pays tremendously if you can pass through the taste, if you can pass through the pain, if you can pass through all the misery, suffering that you have repressed, will rise again. It is like entering in a house where nobody has entered for years. You will raise so much dust. And that dust is not simple dust. It covers your wounds. It has helped you to forget yourself. It has made you unconscious of yourself. It is not like putting off your clothes. It is more like peeling your skin. But once you succeed, then all the pain seems to be just nothing. Because the bliss that descends on you is incomparable. The pain that you suffered looks so tiny and so meaningless. But that is in the end. Gautam the Buddha used to say, my path in the beginning is tremendous pain. In the end, tremendous blissfulness. But patience is needed. I told you, in this surgery you are the patient and you are the surgeon, both. Remember, the English word patient comes from patience. It is significant. Why the sick person is called patient? He has to be patient. He has to wait. But when you are patient yourself and the surgeon both, the difficulty is multiplied. But still it is nothing compared to the bliss. All that I can do, you can do, is to pass through this suffering, to pass through this dark night of the soul, reach to the dawn of your being, blossom. Let your blissfulness explode. Perhaps somebody's sleeping soul may be triggered. Somebody's sleeping consciousness may have a shock and wake up. But these are only perhaps. One cannot be certain in these matters. The matters are so subtle, you cannot be certain. Hope for the best and wait for the worst. And time certainly is hard.